Hey everyone, welcome to Food Friday. Hi Gio!
Hey, how's everyone doing? Hello, Shepherd Youth.
Shepherd Youth! Gio, tell everybody where you are zooming in from.
I'm zooming live. Well, actually, you guys won't see this live, so I already messed up. But I'm zooming from Joplin, Missouri. I know you've never heard of it, but it's in the southwest corner of Missouri. And I'm here at Ozark Christian College. Let me see if I can find the logo. Oh, look.
You guys have like a cool chant or something you do. Oh, there we go.
Cool chant? I don't know if we have a chant. We're not that. Ozark. Goes. We say that?
Ozark, go hard.
We don't have a chant. We're not that. Yeah, I'm here from Ozark Christian College at wonderful Williamson Hall.
Ooh.
That's the name of our dorm. And not without the wonderful part. It's just Williamson Hall. Locally known as.
You make it wonderful, Gio. You make it wonderful.
Thank you. I try.
Oh my goodness. And then for all of our friends at Shepherd Youth, I think I see Mr. Derek Lopez in the back.
Yeah.
Sir. Yes, sir.
There he is.
Clark and Shepherd's favorite. What?
Mm-hmm.
Shepherd's
Wow.
favorite? Well, that's probably Caleb.
Yeah, that's Caleb.
Caleb.
And then that's Zach. Say hi, Zach.
Hello.
Hi. Let's be honest, the favorite Shepherd Ozark alum is Dudley Rutherford.
Very true.
Nah, that's not facts. It's gotta be Dusty.
It's Dusty Frizzell.
I don't know. Dudley has his painting somewhere like in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't he?
We don't talk about
First of all, it's not a painting, it's a drawing. And second of all, we don't talk about it.
Listen. He might be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. Well, maybe he is. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of. But all I'm saying is, like, he's another guy just like us.
I don't know if you can say that.
I think that he's quite the OG. Like Dudley's got some swag.
He's the first Shepherdian to ever go to Ozark. So
I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Dudley, Derek and I probably wouldn't be here.
well, none of us would be here. Not even this whole broadcast wouldn't be here.
This Zoom call wouldn't even be a thing.
I wouldn't have met Louie because Shepherd wouldn't have been what it is. Like I might be back in Indiana. You never know. Dudley
I'm sorry.
trajectory.
Enough about Indiana.
Hey, you would have been balling with the cornfields though.
I know it's true. Maybe I would have still been playing basketball.
Should be in the WNBA right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Right. Anyways, so we're gonna make some rice together because Gio is a vegan in the Midwest, and for any of you guys that don't understand that's difficult. They don't have as many options out there. So Gio told me he's the resident rice maker over at his dorm. So we're gonna we've made some rice. Gio, you made yours in a rice cooker, right?
Yeah, I use a rice cooker because, well, I'm not allowed to have a stove or a hot plate, but I don't even know if I'm allowed to have this rice cooker. It's not in the handbook specifically. It doesn't have to have it, but I'm pretty sure if I asked, at this point, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission.
Sometimes that's what you have to do, I like your philosophy. So, okay, I've made some rice as well. You have some vegetables. I need to make my vegetables. I have, I just got some zucchini and some mushrooms.
There you go. Oh, that'll work.
The funky mushrooms, but I really like them. You find
What are those called?
They're called, let me look. Bunapi. They're like, you find them in a lot of like ramen and stuff like that. They're more Asian. I don't know if they're from. I don't know if they're. I'm gonna cook mine up though.
Okay. You cook yours. I have mine already done, and maybe I'll just go ahead and show you guys what I got cooking up and flip my camera.
Yeah, and tell us what kind of veggies do you add? What things do you add to your rice?
Well, here's my rice cooker. In here, I already got my rice. It's pretty much done already. I use wild rice, and I just add some seasoning. You can add whatever seasoning you want. I use garlic salt. I use this garlic and herb seasoning. And
do you add it? So you add it straight to your rice?
I add it to my rice before I put it in. Like I put my ingredients into the rice cooker, into the pot here, and I put my rice. I use the same like if I'm doing a half a cup of rice, I'll do a half a cup of water.
Okay.
And before that, I put a little bit of oil, just a little bit to spread it around the bottom so it doesn't stick. And then I add rice, I add my water, and then before I even turn the rice cooker on, I put my seasonings in there, right in there.
Nice. So it like cooks with the seasoning. I like that.
Yep. So this rice cooker actually has an attachment here, so I can put the steamer on top. But I already had some vegetables cooked. Like these are, I steam my vegetables because I can't really cook them here.
Right.
So right here I have broccoli. Well, the funny thing is, half of these vegetables are from the salad bar in the cafeteria. So I pretty much just, COVID has been a blessing because since COVID happened, they allow us to get to-go boxes for our food. So I've taken full advantage of that. And the broccoli that you see here, the carrots, the black beans, and the chickpeas, all of these are from our salad bar down at the cafeteria.
Heck yeah, bro. See, when you get to college,
you got to be resourceful. You definitely have to be resourceful. I went to Walmart and bought the snap peas, the zucchini, and the mushroom. So, and I'll season these with some of the same thing I season the rice with, and then I'll just throw them on top. I'll literally throw them on top here, put them in there, and then put the lid on, and it just steams them right up, and they'll be ready to go. These I had them already ready from a couple nights ago, so they were in the fridge, and I heated them up in the microwave. But yeah, simple, really.
Healthy, resourceful. I like it. So I think all the college, going into college, you need to get a rice cooker. I think that's really what we're learning right now.
Definitely. It definitely makes it your job. Well, it helps you to live off of a small budget. If you're a college student, most of us have a small budget. You just get your stuff. You can even add, I didn't do it this time. Sometimes I'll do soy sauce, and then I got my sauce.
Okay.
So we could have a really good meal from the comfort of the dorm, and it takes about 15-20 minutes.
Look at that. I like that. I like that you can steam your veggies on the rice cooker too.
Yeah, it's a really convenient attachment.
I like it. Well, while my vegetables are cooking, Gio, my question for you is, what was your childhood into middle school like? What was your
childhood into middle school? Well, going into middle school, or going like from elementary kid growing up and then going into middle school, my biggest, the most fun I remember having as a kid was with my family, with my brothers and my cousins, and then some of my mom's friends, their children. And I remember growing up in my grandma's house, playing hide and seek all the time, playing tag, playing football, tag, two-hand touch football in the lawn. And I remember going, nowadays, if I go to my grandma's house, the lawn is so small. And I'm like, how did we have 8 kids running around playing football here? This is the tiniest lawn ever. So yeah, just my childhood is filled with a lot of memories of playing with my cousins, playing with my brother. We played a lot of video games too, and watched a lot of TV shows. So
I'm watching a documentary on video games right now. It's very interesting. What kind of video games did you play?
We played all types of video games, fighting games. I remember one game that is really burned into my memory of me playing is Shrek 2, the video game. And I just remember there was this one point in the game where, well, first of all, let me explain. In Shrek 2, the game, there's always 4 people that are in your group. You could, even if you're, because it's meant to be a 4-player game, but it would just be me and my brother sometimes. So then the other 4 people, it could be Shrek, Donkey, Gingerbread Man, and Puss in Boots or something like that. And so if you only had 1 or 2 people playing, the other 2 would be computers. So there'd be this point in the game where you're supposed to scale, parkour scale the side of the castle to get into the castle.
Okay.
And I would get so angry, to the point where I'm throwing my control, because the computers would keep falling into the bottom and having start, and it was just I never was able to beat the game. So that game's burned into my memory because of how
hilarious. I thought you were gonna say some kind of like, you know, violent game or something. Shrek 2.
Back to the video game. It's burned into my memory. It was. Oh my gosh.
My favorite was well, we had a Nintendo 64, and that was really the main one I remember growing up, and we used to play GoldenEye. And yeah, and then we would play Cruise in the World. I love Cruise in the World.
What is that?
It's like a racing game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played some 007.
Yeah, very fun. I love it. Okay, Gio, my next question for you is, what has your relationship with Jesus been over the years? Like, how did you meet Jesus? Did you grow up going to church? What was that like?
Okay, for sure. No, I didn't grow up going to church. I grew up in a Catholic home, and my parents wouldn't really go to church. My mom, she has a devotional life, but she doesn't go to church. And when I say that, I mean she prays often. Like every night she prays, but she didn't really have like a church life or yeah. And she got that devotional life, and she got that prayer, like that life of prayer from my grandma. Like my grandma is like constantly in prayer. Like she has a rosary and she's praying every night to, well, as Catholics pray to like the Virgin Mary or Saint Peter and stuff like that. So that's where my mom got it from. So she, as kids, we kind of did want, she kind of did want us to have that.
Okay.
But she didn't ever really make an effort till we were already we were going into middle school, and she's like, okay, now it's time to go to church. And we were like, what do you mean? So she put us in the first communion and stuff like that. That's like a Catholic thing. So we never, me and my older brother, we never really bought into it, because it wasn't something that we grew up doing. She kind of just tried to introduce us to it.
Got it.
So that kind of made it to where Jesus didn't seem someone who was close. It just always seemed like a distant person. I believed in Jesus, I believed in God, but they just weren't someone who I was close with and had a relationship with. And so that's kind of what my life looked like as far as my relationship with God and Jesus until 2 years after I graduated high school. Mm-hmm. And I came to a point after in high school, going up elementary school through middle school, and then starting middle school, I started hanging out with some of the wrong people, and I didn't care too much about my grades. So that kind of was the theme going into high school and then graduating high school. So I started making some poor decisions, I would call them. And it came to a point, around 3 years ago where I was looking at my life, and I was looking at where I was I just took and this is really interesting. I took a introspective moment, and I just looked at myself and looked kind of at the direction I was heading in, and I was like, I don't know if I want this for myself, And so, I mean, a lot of people say oh, dang, that's surprising that at that age, 18 or 19 years old, you would do that. A lot of people don't do that at that age. So it started really with me wanting to just get better, just get better in every area of my life. And so that ultimately led me to coming back to church. And this time it was at Shepherd Church. So I started going to Shepherd Church around 3 years ago, just because I wanted to do things better for my life. So I started exercising. I started learning about finances. I started doing better in college. And I started going to church. That was one of the things I started doing. And going to church for a little while, I started wanting to get more involved. See what it was about, and really I just kind of dove in and started doing it. And that's what led me to a relationship with people like Dusty, people like you, Brianne, people like Mike Woodward and Jeffrey Cravens and Adriana, the whole Shepherd Youth staff, and then some of the other volunteers. And I just developed a really close friendship with them. And that's kind of where I just the feeling of being loved unconditionally is kind of man, is this what Jesus is like? Because it wasn't Jesus that made me love, or it wasn't the church that made me love Jesus, or it wasn't me loving Jesus instantly. I kind of just came to church and I was like, I wanted to see what this is about. And so I had a great experience with the people I met there and the relationships I formed there, and that's what made me love Jesus. So that was that's how it worked. The relationships that were formed and the people I met and just the love that was exchanged, that's what made me love Jesus. So today, looking at my life today is like, it's kind of a continuation of that, in me trying to make relationships with people, me trying to, well, I think I'm at a point kind of now where I'm trying to just see how I fit into, you know, God's mission and God's purpose, and not so much where I'm like, oh, I just want God to tell me what he wants me to do, but just kind of see how the pieces fall and trying to figure out like, okay, where am I going to fit in the way my life's going right now? And it's not so much like, oh, what does God want me to do 10 years from now? It's more like, what does God want me to do today? You know, today God might want me to make this video with you and just kind of give a message to people who might need to hear this, so, you know?
Yeah, that's so good. I love that perspective. I think so often, you know, we get in this relationship with God, and maybe that's, you know, later on in our lives, but even if we grew up in the church, it's like, I feel like that's the biggest question we ask immediately is like, okay, now what am I, like, what's my part in this? And what do you have for me? And all this stuff. And it's like, you know, I think living in God's kingdom is so much more about like just taking it one day at a time, taking one interaction at a time, because you can look for God's like purpose or calling and then miss all the people, miss the things you're supposed to be, you know, or that you have the opportunity to participate in. Like that's God's kingdom. It's not some big calling that you, I don't know, that you hear God like talk to you through a burning bush, and then, you know, it's like we want to like have those mountaintop Moses kind of experiences, and it's like most of the time it's just day to day listening to God.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I love that. Okay, so while you were talking, I made some zucchini, some mushroom, and then I mixed it in with my rice. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah. Let me get my bowl going now too. I got this. Shout out to Walmart. They got 50%. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. Let me flip my camera. It might be hard with one hand, so bear with me here. Some of it stuck to the bottom, even though I used my oil.
Use olive oil, Gio?
What was that?
Do you use olive oil?
Yeah, this is extra virgin olive oil, and it didn't really do too well. That last time I made it worked out really well. It didn't stick to the bottom now. But this time it didn't work too well. See, there's some sticking there.
I think I'm gonna add some hot sauce to mine.
Yes. That's enough there. So I got my bowl.
This is my favorite hot sauce.
What is that? Pepper plant.
Dr. Pepper. No, not Dr. Dr. Pepper. It's called the pepper plant. It's so good though. I'm gonna do this. Okay, Gio. My next question for you. Okay, well, you kind of answered one of my questions, which was going to be what's the most influential thing in your walk with God, but I feel like you said it's like been interacted with and like been around, you know, like.
Wait, one more.
I said I was gonna ask you what the most influential thing in your walk with God has been, but you kind of answered that. Like, I think you said like the people that you come in contact with, the relationships that you've done. Yeah. So then my next question for you is, what advice would you give to people going into their senior year? So this is like, you know, and obviously it's a weird year, but so maybe the advice you're going to give doesn't apply. I don't know. But what advice would you give to someone who's getting ready to finish their high school career off?
Yeah, that's good. And like you said, it definitely will be a weird year, and there's probably a lot of, you know, not, what's it called? The opposite of clarity.
The opposite of what?
Clarity.
Oh, confusion?
Yeah, well, there's probably some unclarity. I mean, some confusion about what's gonna happen this semester. I don't know if school started for most or all of you guys, but some of you guys may be going into the semester and you guys aren't taking classes online. Other people, you guys maybe you are doing classes in person, but it's like socially distanced and everyone's gonna be wearing masks. So it's definitely a weird year to ask that question for sure. But I think there's some general things that apply to most high school seniors, you know, regardless of being online or being in person. And I would say, you know, one of the biggest things is I don't want to say remove distractions, because sometimes we need to distract ourselves, you know, especially, you know, me being a college student where I'm taking, you know, 18 credit hours this semester. There's points where I'm like, you know what, I don't really want to do anything other than play video games for an hour, you know? And so I don't want to say remove distractions, but I would say limit some of those distractions, and just in this senior year, try your best academically to, you know, that doesn't mean get straight A's, but that means like put in the effort, you know? Don't miss any assignments. Like don't like turn in your assignments, you know, even if they're late, just don't get any zeros, don't get F's. So I would say academically that would be important, you know. Don't remove the distractions, but limit them. Like prioritize what you have to do. I wish I'd applied myself more, you know, in high school. I didn't finish high school with great grades. I scraped by and was able to get accepted into colleges and universities, you know, not the ones that I wanted to get into, but the ones that would take me. So I wish I had applied myself more. And just, you know, that could kind of even carry into, you know, a spiritual lesson or a lesson of wisdom, in that learning self-control at a young age, like getting your work done and applying yourself, that's self-control, and that's something that's going to help you in the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And like you said, in every area of your life, if you learn self-control, like if you learn to train the muscle that says, no, I'm not going to play right now, I'm going to get this assignment done. That's a game changer in so many people's lives. Like you don't even, in a way that you wouldn't even understand. Like, so, and self-control is a biblical practice, in God, through the Bible, through the people in the Bible, tells us, you know, we need to practice self-control. We need to practice discipline, and we need to be wise. So I would say that would be my biggest advice. You know, practice self-control, practice wisdom, practice applying yourself. And even if today it's school, tomorrow it could be your job. Tomorrow it could be with the next, in the future it could be with your family. In the future it could be, you know, with your grandkids or with friends, with your friends. Practicing self-control, applying yourself, and just being a responsible person. It's a game changer. It makes a huge difference.
I think that's so good, because like I even, you know, even in my stage of life, like I just started school this year, and it's like a whole nother level of self-control that I've had to, and discipline that I've had to learn. And it's like, it's painful. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun to go through that lesson, but it's so worth it. Like the amount of like accomplishment and stuff that you feel once you've done it and you've created a goal, like it's so much better. And then you can look back on your time and say, like, I can see what I did with my time. Like I can account for it. It's not like, man, where did the last whatever go? Like I did this and I got this degree and I got this grade and I got this whatever. Like, so in the long run, it's so much better. But we're short-sighted, you know. We tend to see past like this week. I have been putting off this paper I need to write because I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't. And it's like, you have to be long-sighted. That's not a word. I don't know, but not short-sighted.
Future-oriented.
There we go. I like that. Oh, that's so good. My meal is also delicious. Yeah.
Is it? Let me try mine. I put this is the hot sauce I use. It's from the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, that sounds good. It's like the hot sauce is a game changer. It's very good.
It makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Okay. Vegetables. The more vegetables you can eat,
the better
your health is going to be. I love it. Okay, last question. This is my favorite question because I like myself. So, Gio, what's your favorite thing about me?
My favorite thing about Brianne Bookout. Okay. There's so many good things. It's hard to choose just one.
Thanks, Gio.
But if I had to choose one, I'd have to choose Louis Bookout. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My favorite thing about Brianne is her heart for, like, you see Brianne in, well, maybe not, maybe the youth wouldn't know this, but you see Brianne, you know, behind the scenes, and she's like, work, go get them. Like, like, let's do it this way. This is how I wanted to do. This is how I wanted to be. Let's get it done. But my favorite thing is, like, when she steps into the scene, like, she goes from focus on this to, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's amazing how you could switch your focus to focus on getting this done to focus on loving the students there. And so I love, like, how you could, like, when you step outside during Shepherd Youth on Saturdays evenings and Sunday mornings, like, and just hanging out with the kids, I love how you could just do that. So be focused, so focused on that, and be so focused on loving the students well. And then you come back into the thing, and what is that, like? Oh, coordinate, like your coordination, like you're coordinating everything, and it's just like, it's like a switch for you, and you just flip it on and off. Like, students, okay, I'm focused on this. Coordinating our Shepherd Youth worship, our Shepherd Youth service, I'm focused on that. And that's what I love about Brianne Bookout, is just how she could be focused on what she has to be focused on when she needs to.
Well, thanks. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I'm pretty crazy during the week. Like, I can get pretty good.
Yeah.
Gio interned with us, so, like, he knows all of my crazy, kooky, you know,
Yeah.
whatevers. Yeah. So he put up with me for sure.
Well, I wouldn't say put up. I would say I learned under Brianne Bookout.
Aw, well, thanks. I learned a lot from you as well, and I continue to. And I know these students will as well. So thank you very much for taking your time, Gio. I am so grateful that you are in my life and that you are an example for these students. And man, I pray over your life all the time that you would just do what you said earlier. You would just take one step at a time, doing what God's asked you to do, loving people and loving Him. And I'm so stinking proud of you. You're one of my faves, bro.
Thank you, Ram.
Okay, well, until next Food Friday, I hope that you guys have a great weekend, great week. Make sure you tune in to the live at 5:30 on YouTube, and then through the week we have stuff Monday through Friday. So check it out. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.